Okay, it's 6 in the morning. I'm just now waking up to eat my first meal. So this is why I like to prep everything the night before. I don't have to wake up and cook. I can just grab it out the fridge and I can eat it. So this first meal is 11 ounces of yogurt, 3 ounces of blueberries, and 4 ounces of banana. 2 scoops of whey protein. It makes it quick and easy to eat this. And that is meal one. So since it's Saturday, I'm gonna actually probably go lay back down, wake up at like 8:30, and eat my next meal. Because there's no reason for me to be awake right now because everybody's still sleeping and it's actually raining today and thundering and lightning. So I'm gonna go and lay back down and wake up and eat my next meal. Okay, now I'm up for the day. It is 9 o'clock, so now it's time for me to eat my second meal of the day, which is one of my red meat meals. So I got my little Tupperware here. I'm gonna pop this in the microwave for 2 minutes. Actually, 2.5 minutes on this microwave, and then eat. All right, so I like to make the meals the night before, like I said previously, because it prevents me from having excuses not to eat. Just like, for instance, if I have to go somewhere today, my food's already ready. So I can either just wait right before it's time to go and eat, and I can have 3 hours before my next meal, or I just simply bring it with me. And then I stop at a gas station, heat it up, and eat it in the vehicle, in the parking lot, or whatever. It really reduces the chances of making excuses to not be able to eat my food. And I noticed that was a huge thing for me back then. Whenever I was younger, is I would actually sit there and be like, "Oh, cool, tomorrow's Saturday, or I'm off, or it's a weekend, or I'm taking a couple of days off of work, or holiday, or whatever. I'll just cook my food tomorrow." So then I'd wait till tomorrow to cook my food. But then tomorrow would roll around, and instead of cooking my food, I would find excuses like, "Oh man, it's already 9:30. I'm already 30 minutes behind my meal. So what's the point? If I cook it, it's gonna not be ready till 10 o'clock, 10:15, and then I'm gonna have to eat it after it cools down. That's gonna throw off all my meal timing. All my meal timing's off. So what's the point of even eating? Oh man, I guess I'll just wait until noon, and then noon would roll around, but I would eat something else, and noon would roll around, and I'd be like, well, I'm still full from eating what I already ate, so let me just wait till I get hungry, and then I'll end up waiting till I got hungry, which would be hours later or hours after when I was supposed to eat, and then I'd be like, well, it's so late in the day, what's the point of cooking now or making my food or sticking to it? I'll just start back over tomorrow. And then tomorrow would come and it'd be the same thing and the same thing and the same thing. And that was a habit that I had whenever I was younger. Now, whenever I was getting ready for a powerlifting meet or powerlifting competition, the difference is I would legitimately do it. Like, I wouldn't mess around, I wouldn't joke around, I wouldn't allow myself to have excuses. I would actually get up and I would do exactly what I was supposed to do, even on my days off, whenever I was getting ready for a competition. I know I'm not really getting ready for a competition, but I'm in the early stages of getting my body ready to get ready for a competition, if that makes sense. So all right, now that meal two is done, I'm gonna put my shoes on. I'm gonna go for a walk. On weekends, I typically like to go like 20-30 minutes on my walks. When I'm at work, I do what I can do, so I get about maybe 10 minutes at work on my breaks because I don't have a whole lot of time. But when I'm home, if I can get a 30-minute walk, and I like to get a 30-minute walk. So now I got this down, meal two's done. Time to go on my 9 o'clock walk. All right, since we got the second meal down, I went on my walk. I got dressed. My wife has to work at 10. So since she's working, I go to the store to get all my food for the next week. So I'm going to go to Sam's, pick up what I need to pick up, and I'm going to come back and cook everything for the next 2 days and get that out the way because I have to cook again today. And since she's at work, I might as well take advantage of the downtime and get this all knocked out. And whenever I get back from the store, I'll start cooking. And about that time, it should be about close to noon, ready for me to eat again. So we'll see how the day goes after that. Sam's probably has the best price on beef here, at least for this lean. Everywhere else, it's almost like $6-7 a pound, but here it's like $5 a pound or $4.78 a pound. I get 15 pounds a week. That's what I pretty much go through. It's just when you're buying these, be careful sometimes because I found a pack that was split open. So it comes with 6 of these, 6 little cartons that are a pound apiece for right at $16. It's super convenient. I used to buy the actual eggs and crack them. That's so much more work than just buying these and pouring them in and eating them. For the kids. Okay, so basically all I really get from Sam's is the eggs and the meat now. I used to get a lot more from here, but a lot of the stuff that I switched my diet up to, they don't carry, so I had to start going to Walmart. And I went to Walmart last night and got all that stuff, but I make this extra trip just because, you know, I buy 15 pounds a week, and anywhere else it's almost like $6-7 a pound for that. So making the trip out here for the eggs and the meat's worth it, but I also buy in bulk for the kids for the week and everything, because having 3 kids gets expensive. So let me get their snacks and then check out and get back to the house. Okay, so now that we're back from the grocery store, I got all the stuff put up. I'm gonna start actually cooking my food for Sunday, Monday. So I have my food already cooked today, but like I said, whenever I get done from the grocery store, I have to cook my food again for the next 2 days, so that way it's out the way. And also it's 11:30 right now, so by the time I get done cooking this, it'll be ready for my next meal to eat, and I could go on my walk. Then all my stuff's done for the rest of the day. I can just chill and relax. So, all right, well, I'm gonna get all this measured out and start cooking. It's just repetition. When you're in the gym, you're repeating sets. You're doing multiple sets for multiple reps, right? It's just repetition. I got to get to the gym. I got to do multiple sets, multiple reps. Well, it's the same thing for this. It's just repetition, right? It's the same old thing day in and day out. Every 2 days I cook my food. There's nothing glamorous about it. There's nothing glorious about it, and nothing like shocking or like, oh man, that's the most amazing life ever. It's very boring, but it's very, very consistent, right? It's just getting to the gym consistently, doing the same reps, the same sets, increasing your weight, doing the same workouts, changing your workouts, eating the same food, cooking the same food, eating at the same times, eating the same amounts, and then adjusting your food up or down in the amount that you eat. It's nothing special or glamorous. It's very boring and very repetitive. But if you want to get the best results that you can get out of this, you have to be consistent and repetitive. So it's like going on a walk every day. Is it fun? Is it exciting? Is it like, you know, the most amazing thing ever? No, it's very boring sometimes. But you know what?
It's how you get your results. If you want to get the most out of the gym, you want to get the most out of your diet, you have to be consistent. Like if you spend all this time doing your diet and you're not being consistent in the gym, your diet's not going to be as good for you. It's not going to work as good for you. If you're spending all this time in the gym, but you're not being consistent on your diet and you're not being consistent every single day, the time you spend in the gym is not going to be as great as it would be. You're not going to utilize that time in the gym for recovery from eating your foods. And you get what I'm trying to say. It's basically, it's just repetition over and over and over and over and over again. There's nothing about this that screams excitement. It's like brushing your teeth or using the restroom or taking a shower. You do it every day out of necessity, right? You do it because you're programmed to do it, because you need to brush your teeth. You need to take a shower. These are things that you just do because they have to be done. Well, cooking your food, it just has to be done. If you want to be able to eat right, to be able to utilize, to benefit from your workouts, it just has to be done. It's one of those things that, like, there's nothing exciting about it. It's just boring. But the thing is, the people that can do the most boring stuff day in and day out, repetitively over time, are the ones who are going to have the best results at the end of the day. So that's just one of the things, man. People are like, oh, it's so hard to stick to my diet. I don't know how you do it. How do you stick to your diet? Like that's my biggest issue. It's not easy to do it, right? You do it long enough and it becomes easier. But let me show you the temptation in my house. I have kids. So I get to deal with fruit roll-ups and little dino snacks and fruit by the foot and all these chips and candies and all, cereal, fun stuff to eat. I get to look at every day. Let me show you this. Look at this. Look, we got oatmeal, the oatmeal cream pies. We got cookies and cream. Another oatmeal. We got zebra cake, salted caramel, fudge round. We got Star Crunch. We got, all kinds of delicious food in here.
That one.
Oh, we got. And that's the stuff I get to look at every single day whenever I'm in my house with my kids. Because, my kids and my wife shouldn't have to suffer. Like there's guys out there that I've tried helping, and they're like, man, dude, my family doesn't care. My family, they're like, oh, well, we're going to eat what we want to eat in front of me, and they're not helping me with my diet. And there's people that go on diets. I never understood this, because they go on a diet and they expect their family's diets to change because they're deciding to diet. Like, well, y'all all need to do it with me to help support me. So y'all can't be eating pizza and burgers and ice cream and candy and cookies in front of me, because that's going to tempt me to eat it, and that's not cool. But it's like, hold on, man. They didn't go on a diet. You did. They didn't choose to eat this way. You did. So why should they get all their stuff taken away from them, and they have to suffer and not get to eat what they want to eat because you decided to do something for you? Now, don't get me wrong. They shouldn't be tempting you like, have a bite. Just have a bite. Here, just have a bite. It's okay. You can have a bite. You can have one. They shouldn't be tempting you and asking you and trying to get you to break your diet and eat that stuff with them. But if they're not asking you to eat the food with them, and they're not begging you to eat the food, and they're not trying to guilt you into eating it, there's no reason why they can't eat their food and they can't have their snacks. They didn't ask for that. You did. So if you can't do it at home, what makes you think you're going to do it in public? If you can't resist the temptations at the house, what makes you think you're going to go to a social gathering or at work when they cater, or wherever you might be, or at a barbecue or a get together or a family outing, and now there's food and temptation? And then you're going to blame the restaurant? Who are you going to blame? Oh, no, guys, we gotta all eat tilapia because I'm eating tilapia. Let's go out to eat here, but everyone has to eat what I'm eating because I'm not. It's not fair to me. Oh, come on, be realistic. Be realistic. So, like, is it hard to stick to my diet sometimes? Yes, it is. But do I? Absolutely, because at the end of the day, this is my choice and no one else's choice. So, I don't like hearing excuses. I don't like hearing reasons why people can't stick to their diets. I just think it's nonsense whenever people are like, well, I have all this temptation around me. We all do. But the difference is the people that are repetitive, like brushing your teeth and taking a shower, doing the same things over and over again, the boring things, but the things that add up over time, are the ones that are going to be the most successful. Don't make excuses because your family, and I've seen a lot of people try to make excuses because of their family, and that's their coping mechanism, and that's their cop out and their way out. I just don't get that. When I was younger, don't get me wrong, I did use that as an excuse too. Now I'm not going to sit here and say like, oh, I look as great as I do because I've always lived by these principles. Because I've used my family's as I'm speaking on personal experience too. So you can't look at me and be like, well, you don't know, it's different for me. No, it's not different for you because I'm you. I'm just like the rest of you. I've used those excuses. That's how I know. I've used those cop-outs, like, well, my family, well, my kids, well, my wife, well, a gathering, social events, or well, I have too much temptation in the house. I've used those before. I've used all those excuses. So I know the excuses and I know the cop-outs because I've used them and I've self-soothed myself like it's okay, shh, big fella, it's okay that you ate some ice cream, it's all right. Who could have resisted that ice cream? You don't fault yourself for that. It's okay that you didn't stick to your diet today. And then I'd feel this big afterwards, and I feel twice as bad as I did satisfied. Like, oh, the satisfaction I got out of eating that did not outweigh my guilt and my disappointment because I let myself down and I disappointed myself. That was more upsetting to me. Like, why did I eat that, man? I didn't really need that. Why did I do that? And then the guilt trip that comes afterwards, just not worth it. So eventually I found my rhythm and I figured out what works for me. And I figured out how to stick to it and how to avoid those cravings by not having cheat meals. That's how I did it. I don't have cheat meals. So if I don't taste the food, I don't want the food. But if I allow myself to start having cheat meals, I will start thinking of all that stuff in there and how bad I want to eat it and how good it's going to taste. But I don't allow myself to have those cheat meals. And because I don't allow myself to have those cheat meals, I don't think about them. So I don't want it. It's like if you work 3 days and have a day off, then 2 days and have a day off, and you work 3 days and have a day off. Now you have to work 5 days. Now you're going to be dreading those 5 days. But if they tell you got to work a month without a day off, you're not going to be thinking about your day off because it's so far away. Why even do that to yourself? Just go to work and do what you're supposed to do. But anyways, let me button this up and I know people say don't agitate the rice, but I agitate it. I don't care. I'm actually kind of hungry right now, which is surprising because I'm normally not hungry between my meals. But today I'm actually pretty hungry, so I know that my calorie deficit is working because I'm actually starting to feel a little bit of hunger and right before I'm supposed to eat, which is good. But I'm actually going down on calories come Monday. So what I'm cutting is my yogurt meal. I'm reducing that again. So instead of doing 11 ounces of yogurt, I think I'm cutting it down to 7 or 6 ounces. Yeah, 6. Around 6, I think, is what I'm cutting it down to. So both the yogurt meals are going to be reduced from 11 ounces to 6 ounces. And then the blueberries and the bananas will be cut by an ounce on each one of those and stuff like that. So that'll put me at 262 less calories per day. So that should help get my fat loss going, which is going to increase my hunger, which is going to make it harder to stick to my meals. But it's the mental game. It's calculated starving, right? It's calculating where your starvation comes from and what you're starving to get the results that you want. Meal number 3. Surprise, surprise, meat and rice. So the best part about this meal, it's savory. And it tastes really good. There's a lot of flavor in it. So I don't feel like I'm missing out by eating this. Like, this is something that, like, I would just eat for dinner, just to eat for dinner, even if I wasn't dieting. That's what I really like about this. It's so good. And it's funny, too, because, like, I'll go places and I'll bring, like if we're going to the lake or the beach, I'll bring, like, a little propane heater, like a little pie pan, a little aluminum pie pan. And I'll empty it into the pie pan so I can heat it up and eat it that way. And people are like, what is that, dog food? Is that dog food? It looks like dog food, like wet dog food. Oh, it looks gross. Yeah, it tastes good. I said the same thing about chili if you want.
The drugs have you done? Alcohol, weed, shrooms, acid, molly, mescaline, peyote,
Those are all the fun ones.
ayahuasca, heroin,
All right.
meth,
Now that that's done,
crack. I think you
I'm going on my 10-minute walk.
Yeah, probably 20 to 30 minutes, honestly. Because like I said, the weekends I try to get a little bit longer than what I can when I'm at work. I try to utilize my time off if I can. So let's go get that walk done and out the way.
All right, just heated up my fourth meal of the day. So I'm going to mix this up and eat this. And then I'll have my coffee an hour after this to get ready for my workout. And then that will be my fifth meal after that. So let me mix this up and eat this and get it down. I'm actually pretty hungry, so I'm excited for this meal. Also, since I'm off today, figured I'd sit on the couch and eat it here while I watch Anchorman, because it popped up on my recommendations, and it's a pretty funny movie, and I enjoy it. I haven't seen it in years, so I'm gonna eat my my fourth meal and watch this movie. All right, getting to be about that time. I'll make my coffee, otherwise my pre-workout. I don't take nothing for pre-workout except for my coffee. I just drink 1 cup of coffee. And that normally does the trick for me and gets me exactly the amount of energy I need to make it through my workout. I was taking a lot more supplements, but I don't know if y'all watched some of the other videos. I was taking creatine, beta-alanine, arginine, and glutamine before my workouts, but I'm going to stop for like a week or two and start taking them again and see if I notice a difference or whatever while I'm working out. I don't know if it's affecting my vascularity or my pumps, but I know the last 2 days my pumps weren't that great, so I'm going to give it like another week and start taking them again. If my pumps come back good, then I'll add them back in. But I can't tell if I'm just flat because of my deficit in calories or if I'm flat because of I stopped taking those supplements. And I don't take them throughout the day. I only take them before my workouts, so I don't think it has a huge effect on me and stuff. So maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I'm just a bro scientist. All right, let this cool down. Drink this, and then it'll be time to work out. And I'll eat my fifth meal after that. So that's it. Just got done working out. So now it's time for meal 5, which is another yogurt meal. And this is why I like to prep them the night before, so that way there is no, oh no, it's not ready. So I drank my coffee at 4, started working out at 4:30. It's now 6:22. So almost 3 hours later, 3.5 hours. I'm eating my fifth meal of the day. And then after this, the only thing I have left to do is cook my eggs. And also after my workout, I take potassium. 1,000 milligrams of potassium first thing in the morning and after my workout before I eat, because I've had an issue with blood pressure in the past. Like my blood pressure wasn't like crazy high, but it was elevated. It got up to like the low 150s, high 140s, over like the mid 80s, not low 90s. And it took me taking almost 5,000 milligrams of potassium a day between food and supplementation to get my blood pressure down. Now my blood pressure is back 120 over 80, or in the 120s, you know, like 120 to 125 and 80 to 85. So, and that's good enough for me because I don't have to be on an actual blood pressure medication pill. I'm gonna mix this up, and like I said earlier, the bananas, once they defrost for some reason, when you stir it up good enough, they just turn to nothing, like absolutely nothing, like just straight mush. So like they're not even like a part of the blend. So it's just like eating yogurt and blueberries that's chocolate flavored. And then whenever I get done eating this, I'm going to wash this out, and then I'm going to make 2 more of these for tomorrow. So that way that's done and there's no excuses for tomorrow whenever I wake up.
Now, I don't work out tomorrow, but I'll still get my food in. So, all right, I'm gonna eat this, and then whenever I get ready to do my last meal, I'll show you guys that. Okay. 9 o'clock is finally here, so I get to eat my last and final meal. So I just get some frozen mushrooms, throw them in the skillet. Now I normally do the sliced peppers, like green, red peppers, onions, but this time I got the chopped blend with a little bit of seasoning on them. I don't think it really matters which one, if you like to do them. I just changing it up this time because I've been doing those for so long. So add some of those. And we're got a little carton of eggs. I'm gonna let this heat up and cook. Because whenever they start to defrost from cooking, they let off a lot of water from being frozen. And if you put your eggs in too soon, they get really soupy and runny, and it's not really that great. So what I do is I wait for them to kind of start cooking down where there's no more moisture left in the pan, and then I'll just add the whole pound of eggs, and then I'll just stir it up, cook it, and then eat it. And that's pretty much all my meals for the day, all 6 of them, from sun up to sundown, how I prep my food, how I make sure I stayed on my diet by having it already ready the day before, and then how I go about eating it throughout the day, which I don't think it's like a super eventful, like exciting thing, but like I said earlier in the video, like it's one of those things that it's boring and it's repetitive, but it's the boring and repetitive things that's going to get you furthest down the road and closest to your goals by just being able to repeat those things day in and day out nonstop. So let me get these cooked and get them eaten. And that'll be that for the day. And I'll get to repeat this all over again tomorrow. See, this is what I meant by when it starts to defrost, it gets really watery. So I let this all cook down so it's not soupy with my eggs when I'm eating it. So after I cook my eggs, I go and take a shower and shave my head while they cool down. I like to sit down here on the floor on the chase. This is my little spot. After my eggs cool down, sit right here so I can watch TV while I eat. I'm gonna get this meal in. Watch some TV with my wife. Call it a day. And that's it for my day of eating and meal prep video vlog. Appreciate you guys for watching.